Did you know that the U.S. women's national team for soccer makes 1/8 of what the men do, representing the same country and participating in the same events? There's been a major problem in soccer worldwide of women having equal treatment and payment compared to what the men do. A quote from Abby Wambach, a legendary women's soccer player, is players are not looking and asking to be overpaid, but they're asking to be paid their market value. So let's open the books and find out the market value of the women's team and the individual. That's from the New York Times. There's been a lot of problems with money being covered up. FIFA in itself, the governing body for soccer, has there's been a lot of conspiracy things, a lot of things behind the books, and the president had to even resign. And the new president they've been both been quoted to be sexist on ESPN. He said things such as, if women would like more viewings and more money, they should wear tighter shorts. That's just inappropriate on all levels. And the U.S. Soccer Federation has been taking steps. One of the individually as a club teams, and as a professional athlete, the U.S. is one of the forerunners of women's sports. So the most prominent soccer leagues in the world for women's right now is in the U.S. and in Germany. Though the problem with is in the U.S., the minimum wage a professional soccer athlete makes as a woman is $6,500 a year, whereas the average minimum wage a man makes that's not on a youth contract is $355,000 a year, where the highest paid earner, Hope Solo, makes almost $100,000 a year playing. The highest paid earner in the MLS as a man is also an American, Michael Bradley, gets $6.5 million for playing for Toronto. It's just the women just want to be paid equally for what the men are, and despite the revenue differences and things like that, they understand that they shouldn't. They just want to be paid proportionally to how the men do. They know they're not going to make the same, but the U.S. National Federation has been being unfair and not releasing statistics, hiding the books, so they can't be shown and be seen what the profits from the TV revenue and from ticket sales and all the other stuff represent from the female side of soccer as compared to the males. Even though attendance and things like that is almost equal, because how most women's professional soccer are set up is that they're a sister club to the male club already set up in place, so they already have infrastructure. The start to this whole business was during the Olympics last summer, as they had awful turf fields, pieces of turf coming up, and you could see the women posting on Twitter multiple times about how they have leg abrasions, they're all cut up, pictures of the turf literally falling off. And FIFA at the World Cup, the biggest soccer competition in the world, refused to fix it because they just pretty much had a hard-nosed stance on what they should and shouldn't have. And it's this unequal treatment for women, even though they're representing their country all the same and they're still athletes. Regardless of like sexual equality and who's a better athlete and who's faster and stronger, women are playing a professional sport and they're highly skilled and they deserve fair payment and fair treatment. Maybe not equal to the men, but equal to what revenue they bring in and how popular the sport becomes. Adequate investment and growth is needed also, and they're just not getting that. FIFA, CONCACAF, which is a governing body for everything in North America, it's a representative of FIFA over on our side of the world, said they invested $3 million in the growth of women's soccer, and then once books went back and showed publicly, it was only $1.3 billion. So there's been embezzlement and just false play and things like that. Though recently there's been a law passed, so that governing body, CONCACAF, is upgrading women's youth training options, where they've done that in the past in 2007 for the men, and put nearly $500 million into it. So they have 10 years of catching up. Just things in America, in an equal society, it's just amazing to me how there could be things like this and such a gender equality gap. If